Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Looks like we had a little technical difficulties just in the intro. But anyways, if you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom. And today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 13, Winds Do Not Blow as the Ship Wish. So that is today's episode. Hopefully you guys can see me okay, utilizing a new background. So hopefully it's not slowing down the computer or the settings or whatever's going on. So anyways, welcome, bear with me, welcome everyone. So and side note, if it does, then I will make sure to fix it and or take it out for next time. But thank you for joining anyways. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button, join the family, hit the like button, share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend, and leave your comments. Let me know what you think about the episode of 90 Day Fiancé as well. Plus, 90 Day Love in Paradise is on tonight, so we'll have something to talk about tomorrow as well. So hopefully we get to meet the new couples for tonight's episode for tomorrow's live as well. So thank you all for joining me. Let's see who's here with me today. So we have Miss Sharon. Hello. And Tamika. Hey girl, welcome back. And Dolores, you say, hey Kate, I love the new background. Just trying it out. I mean, I can see a little something behind me, so I don't have it all set up just yet. So I just want to give it a try before I came online. So I'll have it fixed next time. It'll be much, much better. Now, anyways, hopefully everyone has seen the episode of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. So I think next week is supposed to be the final episode before the tell-all. I'm so ready to get this tell-all. I'm so ready to get the drama. And I'm just ready to get the drama in general. What do y'all think? I think you probably are too. I'm just going to go over a quick overview before I drop the link for anyone who wants to join the panel. They can. We won't be on here too long. We'll probably could do like 45 minutes or so just to talk about this episode, because really a bunch of stuff happened in a compact, hour, but we have been waiting on it to happen with these two couples, right? So we finally got to see that Danielle, what I was talking about, Danielle and Johan with the exes meeting. And then we got to see Debbie, who was the last to arrive to her boo, right? Who has had the most issues in the last 3 weeks. So we'll get to her in a minute. Hey, Cynthia, thank you so much. All right, so last night episode featured Debbie and Osama. She wasn't quite as on her, what do I like to call her? Her Woodstock. She wasn't on her Fantasyland talking about Osama. She wasn't in La La Land this time. She came off those edibles and was like, I'm going to slap you until next week. I said, that's the Debbie I've been waiting for. That's the Debbie who came out of the clouds and was like, this young man is trying to bamboozle me. She's finally had her eyes wide open. About time, Debbie. Anyways, we also had Danielle and Johan. Listen, Danielle, I think Johan has already have seen the disrespect and the emasculating that she has put onto him. But he's finally said it out loud in last night's episode, or if you watched it today, because I agree. I think Danielle has been very disrespectful when it came to Johan, and especially with the ex last night and what Johan did. Yes, okay, he was being a little immature, a little shady, but how is it that Danielle's like, oh, well, hopefully he'll get on the same page and, thinking maybe a quick little kiss will be okay. No, but all right. And then Jen and her friends, I actually had to laugh if you saw the pillow talk or not. I think it was David and Annie. No, not David. Not Annie. What's his name? Annie and the other Annie in Florida. I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, the Annie from the Dominican Republic, whatever her husband's name is, I can't think. I just blew my mind right now. He was like the snitch crew. The snitch crew has arrived to Rishi's house. And he would be correct. I mean, why did Jen and her entitled friends think this is okay? I mean, they're already in Jen's relationships, plural, because Jen doesn't have a good track record at 48 and 2 master's degree, which means she's book smart. But they came all the way around the world to India to help her tell his family about, oh, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Just trying to like throw out the Indian culture out the door. Please. And then we also had Nicole and Mahmoud, minus Nicole. We got another week break. Yay. So Mahmoud's brother, isn't he wild? Like Mahmoud's brother is like living the Egyptian life the way they grew up, but with the side of little cigarettes and a little alcohol. And I don't think that Mahmoud likes that a little bit, but hey, Mahmoud's brother is a little more well-traveled than Mahmoud. So yeah, that was an interesting conversation. And then Gabe and Isabel. I'm going to say this before I get to the comments. Gabe and Isabel, I have a problem with Gabe with this episode. Even though I do see both sides when it comes to Gabe's sister, and Isabel. I think Gabe is playing both sides of the fence when he's talking to his sister, which they did get into it later in the episode, because how do you tell your fiance, like, oh yeah, you know, my sister said this and my sister said that, you know, throwing the sister under the bus. And then the same thing to your sister, saying like, oh, well, you know, you always say this to me about my relationships and you're always overstepping and you're always doing this and you're always doing that. But yet you're bringing the problems to your family. And then at a Gabe's mouth, he said his sister and his mother and him, it's just been the three of them, right? Like the three musketeers. That's what I call it. And then Gabe has also transitioned. So I could see the sister being protective, like she said, to protect his heart, his feelings, and making sure he's in a relationship where someone's there really loving him for him. Because outside of this show, in the national news, everything else, a lot of people still don't like to see not just anyone that's not heterosexual, but when you go to the trans community, it's even worse. So I can see the sister side of that as well. And I think Gabe was out of line the way he approached the situation, putting a rift in between Isabel and his sister from the very beginning when they hadn't even met each other. So let me read some comments really, really quick. So everyone saying hello to everyone. That's nice. Tamika says, I'm ready for the tell-all. Oh, I read that in the background. Thank you. Sharon says, Debbie was a little pissed. A little. Go ahead and march those red flags. Tamika says, we need old school Grandma Debbie to him off. Okay. She did her best. She did her best, and I was happy that she did, actually. Sharon, you say, Johan was being extra, but he's 32. Right. She's older and respected and run the show. You also say Jen is delusional. And Tamika, you say he's definitely playing both sides. For sure, for sure, for sure. Hey, the Jasmine Show. Debbie went off as she should. I mean, listen, like I said, Debbie, in my opinion, and we can start off with them. I think, do I have them first? I do have them first. Debbie has come off cloud 9. She fell, bumped her head, rolled a few times. Once she hit that donkey, oh yeah, she kept rolling. She was rolling. What's that, Tina Turner? Rolling. You know, I won't keep going because I'm not getting copyright strike. But you know what I'm saying? Like, Debbie woke up. Thank you, Debbie. So they never got to painting right. They're still out there in the dark. Debbie's better than me because I'm not going to be sitting out in the farm in the dark, not knowing where I'm at. But they were still having their conversation. And when Osama looked and said, listen, it's either we do this or we don't do it at all. And Debbie's like, are you kidding me? I could knock you into next week. Okay, if you haven't heard that personally, someone say that to you, your grandma or a family member, whoever, you heard it on a movie or something, at least in urban culture. You've heard that saying. And for Debbie to be from Sugarwater or Sweetwater, Georgia, somewhere in the South, oh yeah, Debbie has said that to her children too. So Debbie, like I said, fell off cloud 9 and here she is. But you know what? Osama sticking to his guns. And he swears that they've had that conversation before. But yet Debbie's saying in the 3 years that they've been together that she's never heard that. Now, I don't know if I necessarily believe that from Debbie. The reason why I say, because I've said before I drop the link, you guys, is because I feel like for the most part, Osama has been pretty on the up and up. His story hasn't necessarily changed too much. There hasn't been too much of a flex in his story. From the minute she landed, he was like, a month or two, and you know, you got to go. Really was saying we have to go. So I think in the 3 years, maybe Debbie, because she was just so enamored, she said after 12 years, she finally opened up her heart with that poem, which she will never read again. That's how she came into the likes of Osama. And I'm thinking, I don't know, Debbie, you have to have a little bit more accountability for that too. But I was just really happy that she decided to get her stuff that night, said, you called me a cab. See, it was no longer with the fan and everything, like the damsel in distress. She was like, listen, call me a cab, I'm about to get my stuff, I'm out. So I was happy she did that. But Osama, his face, he just it could be look a little scary sometimes. It just looks like I don't know. I don't want to put any label on it, but I will say what Debbie said about it, though, when she was talking to her son, Julian, that, at nighttime, Osama seems to turn dark. I could see a little bit where she's saying with that. So let me read some comments, and then I'm going to drop the link for anybody who wants to join. And if not, we'll just stay in the comments. That's fine, too. Tamika, you say, I like she felt that donkey. She hit her and said, seeing him for who he is. Yeah, true. Sharon, you say, Debbie's just trying to live and be happy. She needs to be more selective. Exactly. And you know what? It doesn't matter let's do a maturity level thing. I would say 25 and older, male, female, be more selective, have some common sense about it. Don't just sell your stuff, move to the next country or whatever the case may be. Do your research with the culture, see where you're going to live, see if you're on the same page for now, and then do some trial runs. Don't just uproot yourself and be like, I'm out, for someone who you really, truly don't know is really there for you or not. Just my opinion or suggestion. Tamika, you say, oh, yeah, her head. I knew what you were saying. All right. Sharon felt that Don came to her senses. I think that's what it was. Let me drop the link for everybody that wants to join. Hold on a second. Let me drop that link. Oh, copy. Oh, I got to copy it. My bad. Okay. So here we go. All right. So do we think that Osama was really, do you all think Osama was being honest? Do you think his story changed? Or do you think that maybe Debbie just didn't hear what Osama was saying? I just find it really hard to believe, regardless if it was male to female, female to male, that someone so young can lead you down the road of temptation like that, where you just give up your entire life, talk about Debbie in particular, retirement, everything else, just to be thinking you're going to stay with his mom and dad at first and then just be over there forever, and he just don't want any kids. He doesn't want to flourish. When you've already done that already, probably 2 times over, that's what I get out of it. Maybe one more comment. Cindy, you say the camera crew is keeping her safe from Osama. I think so too. Are you ready backstage? Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How was your vacation?
It was good. It was good. I have to inbox you about Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it too on Married at First Sight on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon says that Osama seems consistent. Okay. Dolores says his story didn't change. I agree. And hello, Choco Beauty 8. Osama is very dangerous. I believe he can have some dangerous tendencies just based off of where he is in the world culturally. So we're not going to speak about him personally because we don't know him like that, but we can all read between the lines. Choco Beauty 8. So what do you think about it, Tamika? Do you think, she's no longer in La La Land. She was like, you lied to me, you sucker, you coward. She almost went like Sanford and Son. Red Fox.
No, we should be saying it to her. You big dummy. What did you expect? And he Like someone said that he's consistent. Yeah, he's being consistent.
Uh-huh.
And he wants a green card. That's all he wants. He wants a
Yeah.
green card to make money. And she
Mhm.
said she's not going to read no more of his poems. We need to send her some Maya Angelou poems.
Okay.
She needs to read some Phenomenal Woman. How the
Mike,
case bird sings. Okay.
Mike,
Yes, that's what she needs. That's what she needs.
you have done your due diligence. Thank you. Good night. Exactly. But before we moved on, Dolores says, hey, Tamika, did you go to Gina's salon? Maybe she's saving that for Thursday. Maybe we have to tune in.
You got to tune in.
Okay. We'll tune in.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, so Miss Debbie, she, got her boots up and went to the hotel. Now, I'm surprised that her son, Julian, wasn't more of the mom, I told you so. He said it in a nice way because when she left the first time, he was like, why are you going to do this? He was more verbal about it, which I get. I mean, if you have children or adult children or, if you do something that maybe they don't like or not like or care for, they're always like in your ear, like the roles have reversed. I know because I got to see, you see, and he didn't though. He was telling his mom like, he never thought Osama was on the up and up, but he didn't like browbeat his mother. So I give him props for that. And then on top of that, I think he knows his mother is sensitive because Debbie comes across sensitive to me.
Yes, definitely.
Wait, Jasmine Show says not my Angelou poems. Yes. Yes. I'm surprised you didn't think of that, Jazz. That's
okay.
And Dolores says she'll tune in on Thursday. So, but the thing is, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into next week with them. Did you see next week that she meets up with Osama and he was saying, and she says, love can conquer anything. So do you think that she may really consider taking him back, maybe on a trial basis again? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. But can she afford it? That's the $1 million question. Can she afford to bring him back and he live off of her? Because she's a woman, or is she going to have to go back to work? Because I know her SSI ain't going to do it.
Well, remember she owns that shop. So the antique shop.
Maybe.
So, assignment. So maybe she still has that going for her. And I don't know, Debbie she comes across like she has a little bit saved. She don't seem like she's hurting at all. That's
right.
what she gives me.
Yeah. And I also think that she wanted to come to Morocco to live out her final years. I don't think she wanted to go back to the USA. I think she wanted to stay there.
Yeah, I think so too. The Jasmine Show says, I did say Debbie would go home first, but second is close enough. We still haven't seen Nicole go home. And I know I was surprised. I thought she would have been gone, but she's still in there. Chaco Beauty 8 says she needs to go home, or if she plans to live in Morocco, cut off all contact with him. But see, Chaco Beauty, she had no purpose of being in Morocco, no family, no friends. So the only person she had is Osama. So I think that she'll go home. But I just can't, I wouldn't have talked to him. Osama said that for next week's episode, he'd want to make things right. He didn't want to go off with, a fight or argument, which, okay, I get that, for to have peace of mind, but still, for someone, that for Debbie who feels that she's been bamboozled and she wasn't being told the truth, I personally wouldn't have met up with them. I would have had my ticket on my way home as soon as I could. And that just would have been that, So,
yeah. He probably like, oh, shoot, I messed up. And now my meal ticket about to leave. And let me go ahead and get this and smooth this over so that I can convince her to take me back to the U.S.
Right.
But her son ain't going to go for it.
No, And the son is a police officer or detective or something too?
Yes.
He probably running the statistics right now, like when she was talking to him, right? Dolores says, I hope Debbie will go home. Sharon says, Debbie might get sweet talk back into a relationship. I think it's possible, but I think she'll hold strong though. I think because Debbie, who doesn't want love, right? Everyone wants unconditional love, but I just think that Debbie is felt that she had this love from someone, young enough to be her grandson that clearly wants to make money in the States to help his family and do what he got to do. He anything like for her. I mean, he will say every now and then, like, I love her, I want to be with her, but he wants to be with her to get to America. I mean, he said it. So the Jasmine Show says Osama's not fine enough for all this mystery. I'm not even gonna go
I
there
mean,
with you. Anyways, so let's go ahead and knock out Danielle and Johan already. So or were we done talking about Debbie and Osama before we move on? Yeah. Okay. So
yes.
Danielle and Johan. So I wrote Danielle's back from her non-date date on the river cruise with her ex Taylor, despite Johan's objections. Danielle says she had a beautiful day, and despite what Johan thinks, she's going to come in the house with food and just see, what the issue is with Johan. I said, Danielle, you've got to be kidding me. Like, girl, no, seriously, girl, you tripping. Like, for real. In no way, roles reversed or not, that you like, I'm still going to go on the river cruise anyways. No telling how long you've been out there on the cruise, which gives your husband, who's already shaky about how he feels about your behavior anyway, and then to come home and be like, oh, what's the problem? Oh, no, I had a beautiful time. Come help me cook. What is her problem?
Yeah, she got issues. Definitely.
And so,
definitely.
So Danielle still can't seem to think or realize why Johan can't agree to her having male friends. I think not only have we all discussed before that it's not just cultural, but look how she reacts. Look how she seems to be giving those signs of whether she did something or not. It just seems like she's very flirtatious, right? And so Johan is like, who's your husband, me or your exes? And I can see his point with that, because she's just so like, oh, well, you're my friend. I don't have any friends here. I left for you. Yeah, but what you're showing is that the option B is still there because this is your ex. This is not just a friend from college, someone you grew up with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just was in a relationship with this man before me. So
I agree.
You think Johan is right, wrong, or do you see both sides?
I see both sides, but Johan, he could have, but he's young, like someone said, he could have handled it a lot differently. She could have handled it a lot differently. And she's not being respectful to the union.
Right.
And we all know if those roles was reversed and it was some tall, however looking woman that he used to sleep with, she's going to feel a type of way.
Of course.
About it. She's going to feel it. Any woman would.
Any woman. Exactly.
Yeah.
Dolores says definitely Danielle has issues. And Choco Beauty 8 says Danielle's for the streets. I wouldn't eat any of her food. She did the most for a 4-month fling. She sure did do the most for a 4-month fling, because when they explained all the things they did, yes, it was during lockdown and everything. I mean, they were living like husband and wife, kind of. It was like a little bit more than boyfriend and girlfriend, or I just met you 4 months. That's a lot. Matter of fact, they were doing like the 90-day experience then. You know what I'm saying? Everything was rushed and things like that. So I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it when she was on the river cruise, just telling all her business to someone you've only known 4 months.
Exactly.
The type of relationship that you feel like he's immature and he needs to grow up, and you're questioning everything. You don't really even know the man that you're talking to. Right?
I agree. I agree.
Anyway,
Johan is condescending.
True.
And Danielle is she's negative, and she's overbearing. And it's got to be her way or no way. And so, and that's why he treats her like that. Yes. And it's not right, to do that. But that's what she married. That's what she signed up for.
That's exactly what she signed up for. Cynthia says Danielle likes her men young. I'm not sure how old Taylor is. I think are they the same age, or is he the same age as Johan? I'm not sure.
He looks young.
Okay. Well, Johan agrees after much pushing from Danielle to meet the ex. I think Danielle got exactly what she bargained for. I typed here, I was like, ooh, the conversation turns wild because Johan is like, so. And I thought the conversation from the clips, it made it seem like it was coming from Taylor asking about the penis size. It was Johan who I think intentionally said things to embarrass Danielle because, like,
Condescending.
you wanted me to meet your friend, so this is exactly what you get. So, hey,
What?
what's your shoe size? Oh, so she likes big penises. Oh, stand up. Oh, we about the same height. You know, all this other stuff. But Danielle was saying, like, you know, I'm not going to translate this for you because, you know, it's not appropriate, which she shouldn't have. And I was surprised that Taylor didn't speak Spanish. I just thought, I was just under impression that he did. I don't know why, but I just thought that he did. That whole situation was just unnecessary. I don't think Danielle should have pushed it at all. If he said he didn't want to meet him, she should have just left it at that.
Left it alone.
Someone, you know, be friends just because you're friends. And what man, woman too, but we're talking about them, wants to see someone you was just in New York with this person. You just had a relationship. You were just recently, you know, having relations, and you want me to sit down and be like, hey man, what's up? Why would you want that? Why would you want that? But yet Danielle is now thinking like maybe she made the wrong decision by marrying Johan. I'm like, you did exactly what you want to do. You wanted to retire to the DR because you said you was tired of the expenses in New York. That's what you said. So
yeah. When I was watching, I was at work. I was just like,
he was wild.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Dolores says, I like Johan. Danielle's too controlling. And then you also say Johan was making me laugh. He was making me laugh too. And like I said, I think what he was doing definitely was intentional, but I don't know if he thought it was going to be to the point where he felt it was really going to hurt Danielle the way it did. What'd you think about that? Or would the chat think as well?
Yeah, it looked like he didn't care, you know, and he was just like, oh, well, you know, you get what you ask for.
Yep. Do we think that Johan is checked out?
I don't think he's checked out. I still think that he is trying to get to the U.S. to help his family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But I don't think he would have a problem with that with anybody else. I mean, he's attractive enough. You know what I'm saying? He's tall, dark, and handsome. A lot of people look for tall, dark, and handsome. So I don't think he'd have a problem with anyone else if he, you know, had to move past this relationship. So, all right. Well, let's move to Jen and Rishi. What is Annie from DR's husband's name? I can see his face. What is his name? What is his name? Anybody know Annie's husband? And they are on Pillow Talk. Name. I can't think of it right now.
I can't think of it.
Okay. Well, he makes me laugh every time. He's very sarcastic too, but he makes me laugh. So Jen and Rishi or the Sneak Squad, they have there in their heads to go meet Jen's family. Listen, I don't care how much of a friend I am to you. If I'm a friend to you, I'm loyal to you. Listen, you 48 years old. I'm not traveling to all the way around the world to help convince your friend. Thank you, Jasmine Show, Robert Annie. To convince your boyfriend, your fiance, or whoever he is to you without a ring, a real ring, that, you know, well, do you know who I am? And I have to agree, like, how many American women come over to meet the family? You know?
Right.
And I just think that why would Jen think that this is the right idea to drag your friends along? When you just met his family before you had to leave on your visa, they already met you. So you don't have to go, you remember me? Like, again, how many Caucasian American women come to the house to meet the family? And so I think that I also think that Jen overstepped her bounds. But Jen said that Rishi invited her and her friends over. I wouldn't have came. First of all, I wouldn't have been in India for you. You just would have to handle your business.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think? Do you think it was okay for Rishi to invite the friends over to kind of like calm the situation for Jen? Because Jen's the one that needs to be calm. You know, she needs her nerves to be like, oh, yeah, I want to marry you. But when Rishi specifically said, I can't even give you a decision till August. So what was the friends going to do?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And they just literally more so messed it up for her,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and even though the family said yeah, but after the fact they was like, oh heck nah.
Oh, yeah.
What's going
Oh,
for
yeah.
this?
Right. But the
Yeah.
thing that got me though was a translator. So the
Oh
translator,
she's like, what kind of bull crap y'all got me into?
right? Because at first she didn't want to go, right? She was like, "Oh, I guess I'm getting paid," but she's like, "Oh, okay." But see, one thing they have to realize is that she's also part of the tradition and the culture. She
Mm-hmm.
knows this is not right. This is not what they do.
Right.
But since she was
Right.
paid, she did it anyways. And yeah, the shenanigans was just too much for me. Like the friend sitting on the couch, especially the blonde one, Randy. She is the main one that's got the say,
Mm-hmm.
that's got the RBF face, and just like, you
Yeah.
know, the ringleader. And she's never really, in her own words, have liked Jen and her past relationships anyways. So why would you come all the way to India to see if what's going on? I mean, this is her second time back in 30 days. I'm not
Right.
coming,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So if the man doesn't want to marry you right now or have to wait for a day, and you know he's catfishing you, I don't understand, like, oh, let's meet my family, let's talk to the family, see if they get the approval. But the family
Mm-hmm.
was nice to say, oh yeah, no, everything is okay, no, we like you, oh, where do you think you live? But at the end of the day, what they say to Rishi, why is she over here? That
I don't know
Asian,
why you playing.
why
You
you?
know that this is not gonna fly in the Indian culture. You
Oh
over
my,
here got us on TV, got us looking crazy and stuff. You know
right,
this is a no from us. No,
right.
why?
The mom said, I want you to know right now. She said, not just a no, it's a clear no. I said, okay, mom, a clear no. So that means don't ask me again.
No, exactly. Because if you ask me again, I'm sending you to your room because you still live under my roof.
Right, right, right. And
Mm.
you know what? Like they've already said before, they wanted a daughter-in-law who could take care of the household and do all,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the whole point of showing her how to make the coffee and what time to do the coffee and how to make the food. So again, like what is in Jen's mind? Can someone help me understand that her friends would help her get across to the family that's not changing? Because Jen doesn't want to do none of the things they suggest.
Right. She doesn't want to live with the family. She wants to live in wherever she said that she want to live. And they're like, wait a minute, he our bread. Well, he the one to take care of us. So yeah, that they're just the friends is too much.
Uh-huh.
I'm curious to know, do they have boyfriends or husbands? Because they doing the most. The most.
They are doing the most. I don't know
Yeah.
if they do. Real quick, the Jasmine Show says very inappropriate. Do you bring extra folks to someone's house? Only to say you bring a plus one or as a cookout or barbecue, and then like bring whoever, but you got to bring something else too. But not in a
Mhm.
situation like this where you're trying to convince the family that I'm the fiance. Remember me from like 3 weeks ago?
Right.
Absolutely not. And then
They could at
Choco.
least bought her a goat or a chicken or something. A peace offering.
Right. Choco V8 says, Jen is a mess. Just go home, love. Okay. Like, why'd you even come back, Jen? Why
Right.
did you come back? Nothing has changed. But I will say this, though. Rishi was calm in both instances. And he
Mm-hmm.
was calm with that translator. I thought he would have left the room, because now he can't say like what he wanted to say in translation, but he was very calm before and after. And I was also very surprised how emotional he was because he said he loves Jen and, he doesn't want to hurt his family, but he knows now what he needs to do. And I'm
Right.
curious to know now, what is it that he needs to do?
Mhm.
Because coming up on that tell-all, he's still emotional and he's still trying to tell his family something. So maybe he broke tradition. We're going to find out. What do you all think he
Mhm.
broke tradition and has really proposed to Jen?
I think that he did, and because he really loves her. And
Uh-huh.
then did you just going back? Did you hear what he said about the translator? He's like, "Oh, they got this translator coming in. She's a really pretty Indian woman. So I hope my family ain't looking at her or something to that nature." And I'm just like, "Oh boy, Jen, you messing up. You should have got an ugly Indian woman to translate,
Right. But you know what?
or a man."
A man, right? Because if someone that's younger, because they're looking for a younger daughter-in-law, they're
Yes.
looking for somebody to take over. So,
Hmm.
and when Jen, let me jump back a little bit. When Jen asked how many times that uh, things have been arranged or proposals or whatever like that, informal things, and she was like, I think they said two or three or something like that. And then Jen was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, so in the restaurant, it wasn't a misunderstanding. No, he was telling
Right.
you the truth, but you just don't
Exactly.
see. So, and also too, we know now that this show was already taped more than a year ago because Nicole is 40 already. So that means
You're right.
August has passed. So we're going to a new year now. So I wonder if like I said, if he really did propose and why he's still crying. That's what I want to know.
Or
Phones. Uh-huh.
on the flip side, and
Mm-hmm.
he's telling Jen like, I can't be with you because I don't want to be ostracized from my family and from every other person in India. Like, she better go talk to Jen. Jen and
Jenny.
not Jen. What's her name? What's his name from the other season?
Yeah, Jenny and Submit.
Jenny and Submit. Right. You better go live with them.
Right. You know what? Only Submit's family was as nice as Rishi's family. I think it would have been a whole different situation.
Hmm.
They were really nice to Jen, but then again, yeah, it's still an age thing. That first
Yes.
and foremost is the age thing. I think if she was like younger, like maybe Nicole, they would maybe accept it a little bit more. But I still think they want someone more cultural from their India to be
Right.
instead. I think that's what the bottom line is.
And I don't know if the Indian culture is where the man, they have to have, to carry out that bloodline.
Uh
I
huh.
don't, like I know like some cultures where, the man has to marry, like the Nigerian culture and
Oh,
those cultures where you have to marry somebody young so that they can have all these kids so that the bloodline keeps going.
it's
And that's
possible.
probably why they want somebody younger for him so that they can do that. Other than, taking care of the house, being a Cinderella in the house.
Right. Well, the best case scenario in any tradition culture is to be young and fertile for the best chances. So,
Right.
I'll give it
Right.
up. All right. Well, let's move to Nicole and Mahmoud. So, I have written down Mahmoud is meeting with his brother at a men's club to get advice about his relationship. I said, let me say this Mahmoud's brother is wild, smoking those cigarettes and having them shots. Isn't he playing them dominoes? It's just like he's just out doing whatever, being urban. I said, okay. Versus Mahmoud, who he doesn't seem like he does any of this stuff, right? He feels that, the drinking, the smoking, all that is not religious under that umbrella. Versus the
Hmm.
brother, just, having a good time. But the brother is also more well traveled than Mahmoud. He's been to
Yeah.
China and no telling where else,
Right.
doing what he's doing. So the brother, I'm not necessarily sure if I agree with the advice that the brother gave. I do a little bit, but not a lot of it. The little bit is yes to fight for your marriage, but to tell him to not go to America because you won't adjust, I didn't agree with that because the brother
Hmm.
went to China. So it doesn't matter where
Exactly.
you go outside your culture, you're going to have to adjust, at least
Hmm.
can. So I didn't like that part of it, anyways. And then on top of that, I think that the brother should just come out to say, in my opinion, even though to fight for your marriage, you can see that Nicole and Mahmoud don't have a lot in common, whether it be the dress code or just her wanting to pray under the religious guise of everything. That when I think he knows that when Nicole goes back to America and if Mahmoud ever gets a visa, it's going to intensify because now Nicole's at home. Now you really can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go back to where
Exactly.
so um, I can see why Mahmoud's nervous. I just think that his brother should have been just a little bit more honest. Did you see that same way? And what about you all in the chat? What do you think about Mahmoud's brother giving advice to him?
I think that he's probably telling him that he's not going to adjust because he knows how Mahmoud's attitude is.
Oh, okay.
And and how he can barely adjust to marriage. And he's like, if you don't, when he said, if you don't get in this car, we're divorced. Yeah, it don't work like that, homie. And
Right.
then like Mahmoud's brother, yeah, he for the streets. He's definitely like that streetwise, street smart, where Mahmoud is book smart and still wet behind the ears, and we can still smell titty milk on his breath.
Right.
So that's how he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just needs to grow up, and he probably needs to move out so that he can have some kind of world experience like his brother did.
Yeah. I do believe Mahmoud is the youngest of the family. I think they were
Mm-hmm.
before. So maybe they're kind of holding on to like the baby of the family kind of thing. And again, he doesn't seem like he's as open to experiences. And that's just based off of his brother saying it from what we've seen. Even when Nicole went to that yoga, what was her name, with Ronnie Rohan, he didn't
Yeah.
like that. So he knows that Nicole, when she comes back home, America is the land of the free, and she's able to drive where
Mm-hmm.
goes, so he won't have any control. So I just think his brother should have been just a little bit more honest with that. What you
Right.
say, Sharon? Mahmoud is younger. His young brother is a lot older. That's true. And then Choco Beauty 8 says Nicole should just divorce. They're making each other miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't seen Nicole for 2 weeks. We've only seen Mahmoud, which
Mm-hmm.
do we even? No, that's not true. She was on last week with her sister-in-law, but I mean, with them together, we haven't seen them in filming together like that, really.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think that I don't think their relationship is strong enough to be in Egypt or America.
Mm-mm.
I just don't see it strong enough. Now, let me jump to the tell-all because I keep seeing the previews, and it just hit me with Nicole. Did y'all see what Nicole had on when she was crying behind the camera with Mahmoud? Nicole is wearing a burgundy sleeveless dress on, well, one sleeve and her shoulders and everything else out. So she's already showing skin on one of the sides with a choker on. That right there is
Shameful. Shameful. How dare she?
How dare she? And on national TV. So
disrespectful.
apparently Nicole came back home and became Nicole.
Listen, right. She Nicoleing right now.
She Nicole.
Okay. She Nicoleing.
So I think that's one reason why. Maybe that's who Mahmoud was chatting it up in the background. Like this is what they want. Maybe he was talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
So Sharon says, I don't even see the attraction between them. No, I don't either. I don't know. That was a weird relationship too. All right. Last but not least, we have Gabe and Isabel. So Gabe, Isabel, Gabe's family are all in this episode. Now, I'm surprised that Gabe got his paperwork together as fast as he did.
It took a couple months, he said.
But still,
I was surprised too.
I'm like, they still filming and you got your paperwork together? So he is having lunch with his sister and his mom, saying he's excited to go back to Colombia and get married. I just didn't like the interaction that Gabe has with his sister. Because, you don't have to tell your sibling everything. You don't have to even tell your parent everything at a certain age or whatever if you don't feel comfortable. But just the way that it seemed like he was setting up his sister Monica for the meetup with Isabel and vice versa, it seemed like he was playing both sides. And I'm going to jump to the bottom real quick and then come back. I have to agree with Isabel. I think that, maybe he don't have the best relationship with his sister that he thinks he does.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder why that is, because he's always saying he said in this episode how Monica has always been hard on him for his relationships and, who he's been dating and just things like that. But Gabe has to remember, you weren't always male. You had to transition into being male. It took you 10 years. So maybe she was standing up for you with all the possible hate you were receiving, the bullying you're receiving. Right. She had your back. So that's where I'm like thinking, like, are you sure that she was like pushing people away or just making sure that you're in the right community for what you want to do, because there's so much, in the world that can happen to someone when they find out about an alternate lifestyle.
Exactly.
Do you think the same?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I just think that she's protected him for so long because of how people probably treated him.
Yeah.
And now, he doesn't really need her protection no more. And she don't know how to take it. And plus he's, like you said, he's been saying one thing to one and one thing to another. And then now they came together and she's like, we're protective over him.
Mhm.
But Isabel's like, but I got his back. My family loves him. And then I
Yeah.
think she felt the type of way about that when she said, his family loves him and accepts him. And
Mhm.
she's like, okay, I've probably lost my brother. I've already lost my sister, but now I lost my brother.
Right, right. And I think that he finally got a little glimpse of what she was thinking and feeling. But at
Hmm.
the same time, it's just like if you have a family member in the penitentiary system, they're the ones locked up, but you're still doing time with them too, because you are always worried about what they're doing, thinking, feeling, if they're
Hmm.
safe, whatever. It's still in the same, to me, it's the same category. If someone's going through a type of transition, whether it be gay transition or it's anything in life, a divorce, baby, anything, you're with it too,
Right.
So
Right.
I just didn't like the fact that he was like kind of like pitting them against each other, just for the fact that he was saying to Monica, his sister, that you and Isabel, your personalities are strong, and I worry about that. And then
Hmm.
Monica brought up being the prenup, and she also brought up wanting to be the walk him down the aisle and the maid of honor. I'm like, now she does want to do a lot, but it's just you, your mom, and your sister. Who
Right.
else is going to do it for you? I didn't see the problem.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and then when he's telling Isabel about that, he made it seem like his sister pushed the idea on him, like besides the prenup, like she wants to do this, she wants to do that, she wants to make sure. And I'm like, that's not, for people who haven't met, that's not cool. Why would you want to,
Hmm.
like to put a bad taste in my mouth before I even get a chance to meet you, make my own decision?
Exactly.
So that's why
Exactly.
I think that he went wrong with that. So I also think that not Gabe, Monica, when she asked Isabel, she's like, when they finally came to Columbia, him and the mom, her and the mom for the wedding, when she was like, oh, so you don't even speak just a little bit of English? I'm thinking, you're in Columbia. She don't have to speak English. She's at home in Colombia.
She could have told her, like, you don't speak a little bit of Spanish? You in
Right.
my country. It's
You know,
one thing if I was in yours, but you in mine.
the entitlement of people, regardless you're
Yeah.
on this show or not, to go to another country and then ask someone, you don't speak English. This is like, huh? You
Right.
in Colombia, right?
Exactly.
That's, she should use a translator app just like her brother has to from time to time to
Hmm.
get along with them. But yeah, I think that I'm not sure. Do you think the wedding's going to go off without a hitch? Because for next week's episode, he gets a phone call or text from his sister, and his mom reads it and says Monica's not coming to the wedding. So
Making it all about her.
yes, but why though? Oh, let me read one comment. The Jasmine Show says agreed in Colombia. Why did I think Gabe was Hispanic? I don't know. Why did you think Gabe was Hispanic?
No. He's from what, Texas? I think.
Uh,
Florida.
um, I know
Florida
he's
or Texas.
no, I think she means mixed race. He's mixed race. They're
Yeah.
African American and something. I don't know what the something is. I want to say somewhere in Asia, but don't quote me on it. But he's not Hispanic. But still, what do we think about the wedding though? That the text, like, make it about her for what reason? She just had a breakdown and said, "Okay, I'm good. He's got a family now. He'll be okay." So why not come? You came all the way to Columbia not to come?
Yeah. Because again, she's lost her brother because he has this new family now. And so now I'm going to try to sabotage because I'm losing my brother. So
Uh-huh.
now let me go ahead and sabotage and make him feel bad, that I'm not going to be here. I'm sure she's just saying that. I'm sure she's going to be there.
I mean, I don't know. If someone sent me a text like that, I wouldn't expect you to like send me the text and then turn around and show up. Because then I would feel a type of way. I would personally. Sharon says, Monica has got to let it go. It's Gabe's life. Be happy for him. He'll learn or he won't.
Exactly.
Then Jasmine Show says, I'm not feeling Monica so far. I mean, she does come across a little bit. I get it, though. It does come across protective. It does. Imagine your sibling who started out the same gender as you, had to go through all these processes. You've probably seen him at his best and his worst in the hospital, all those transitions. I can understand being protective. There's a but, though. The business part is where they get it misconstrued, like apparently he doesn't trust her enough to say certain things, and Monica doesn't understand why. But I mean, they're on this show, so apparently he's opened up for something, right? So, yeah, but I'm really surprised that she sent that text. Now, also on next week's episode, Johan and Danielle are on the beach. He's telling her that she's crazy and she doesn't respect him. I mentioned about the text from Monica. Debbie meeting with Osama and saying that love can conquer all, but right now things are a ticking time bomb. Rishi telling Jen that his family really doesn't like the age difference. And Chris and Jamie, who we haven't seen in a while, argue. Walks out after Jamie says to leave. Now, first of all, we haven't even seen Chris come back yet. So I guess she's going to come back. It's going to be the finale next week. So apparently Chris is going to come back and re-leave because of the end of the episode is next week. So I wonder what it is that they're arguing about now. I mean, we already know it's about money, but wonder what it was for Jamie to tell Chris, just leave. They could have said that on the phone. They've been saying that, right?
This was a Zoom call, honey, and I could have saved my money.
Exactly. Oh, Dolores says Monica wants Gabe to be happy. Yeah, I think she does too.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say, Jasmine Show? People always start doing too much when there's a wedding. Seriously. I can understand that too. But still, Chris and Jamie, though, like I said, you could have said this on the Zoom because you was already saying it. You was already saying you didn't have the cash to come over, and you're going to turn around and come right back home and be on the tell-all.
Right.
So I don't understand their situation. But do we think that Chris's mother said that Jamie was a gold digger, and did I say that right? That Jamie's a gold digger and Chris is a sugar mama? Do we think that Chris is a sugar mama? Oh,
definitely. Because all she's doing is making money to send back to her, and for her, what she's sending her is not good enough. And then she said that she was almost about to sell her dad's ashes.
Yes.
And I was like, why would you even leave that? That's crazy.
Well,
why would you even leave?
I'm sorry, excuse me. Chris said that she left the ashes, which is on a necklace, for Jamie, so that Jamie would know she was coming back. That's why she left it.
Yeah, you could have found something different. That's just a little bit personal.
You could have found exactly. I wouldn't have did that and Jamie wanted to sell it so that she can have a gym membership. I'm like, for real?
You better do some jumping jacks.
Still, you know how precious that is to somebody with someone's ashes to get some cash for a gym membership. Come on now. I was like, no, that's too much. The Jasmine Show says Chris doesn't have enough money to be a sugar mama. I was just about to say that, Jasmine Show. I was about to say, I don't think Chris is a sugar mama. I think Chris wants to be a sugar mama. I think Chris has the intentions of showing Jamie that, hey, I can take care of you and you can not work as much and we'll do this food truck. But sugar mama, because Chris already said that she was having money problems before she went to Columbia. So I also think that Jamie wants to come to the U.S. because her family, remember, doesn't know she lives this type of lifestyle, and so she could be happier, more free. That's what I think about it. I could be wrong, but that's what I get. So yeah, I'm ready for this tell-all so we can get to the nitty-gritty, because right now I think we're just sailing along until they're ready to pull this tell-all, because the tell-all is where all the information is.
Right.
I need to know.
Right. And I hope it's not 4 episodes like that one tell-all. I hope, they're 4 weeks and they had to drag it out. Give us 2 weeks and we good.
You know what? Hopefully not this time, because they already have Love in Paradise on. So
Right.
last time there was a tell-all, it wasn't a franchise out just yet. So this time it is. So maybe it'll be 2. It'll probably be 3, but hopefully it'll be 2, but definitely not 4, because we don't need that at all.
Right.
So anyways, does anyone else have anything else to say about the end of this episode? Because we'll be back tomorrow with Love in Paradise, where we're going to see Lydia, them Dennis the Menace kids. Hopefully we'll meet some other couples and go from there.
Right. No, I'm good.
That was it. Okay. I appreciate you joining, ma'am. And I appreciate everyone in the chat. And if you're free tomorrow, same time, same place, we'll talk about the next franchise. So until next time, everybody, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone. Take care.